Standard deviation of A. STANDARD standard deviation DEVIATION standard deviation of A is equal to root of PD square, that is equal to root of 9, that is equal to 3%. Standard deviation of B. Standard deviation DEVIATION standard deviation of P is equal to root of PD square and root of 9, that is equal to 3%. Covariance of stocks. Covariance VARIANCE. Covariance of stocks. Covariance of stocks is equal to sum of PDA and DB, that is equal to 9%. Correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient. Sum PDA DB is equal to 9%. Correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient. Coefficient EFFICIENT. Correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient, that is equal to covariance AB. Covariance VARIANCE. Covariance AB divided by sigma A double A divided covariance of AB divided by sigma A sigma B, that is equal to 9 divided by 3 into 3 is equal to 1. Equal to 1. 9 by 3 into 3 is equal to 1. Portfolio variances. Portfolio variance. Portfolio variance. Portfolio. Portfolio. Portfolio variance. VARIANCE. Portfolio variance is equal to sigma A double A square plus sigma B double B square plus 2 sigma A double A sigma B double B sigma C double C are covariance AB. Sigma A double A whole square plus sigma B double B whole square plus 2 sigma A double A sigma B double B correlation 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 AB. This is what. Now portfolio variance is equal to sigma A W అంటే 3 into 0.4 whole square sigma B double B అంటే 3 into 0.6 whole square plus 2 sigma A into 0.4 3 into 0.6 correlation coefficient is equal to 1. Covariance to sigma is equal to correlation coefficient. So into 1. 1. Portfolio variance is equal to portfolio variance is equal to portfolio portfolio variance is equal to 1.44 plus 3.24 minus 4.32 minus minus ఎందుకు వచ్చింది ఇక్కడ మీకు portfolio variance plus 4.24 ఎందుకు వచ్చింది portfolio variance equal ఇదా 3 into 0.4 into 1.2 so 1.44 plus 3.3 into 0.6 into 1.8 3.24 3.24 minus 1.44 plus 3.24 minus 4.32 minus 4.32 2 into 3 into 0.4 into 3 into 0.6 into 1 4.32 minus 4.32 plus 4.3 into the plus 4.32. Then overall K 9 percentage. Portfolio standard deviation is equal portfolio 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 standard deviation is equal to 9. That is equal 3 percentage. Portfolio standard deviation is equal to root 9. That is equal to 3 percentage. Calculation of the portfolio. Calculation of the portfolio return and standard deviation.
Jawaharlal Nehru, a man who is hailed as a liberal icon and a champion of democracy. But Nehru has another face that not many people know. Despite 12 of the 15 Pradesh Congress committees voting for Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Nehru came through the back door to become Congress president and thereon India's first prime minister, leveraging his rapport with Gandhi. Years later, Nehru issued directions to his ministers to not attend Sardar Patel's funeral. This subtle sidelining of Sardar Patel by Nehru gives a glimpse of his democratic and liberal credentials. Nehru also tried to prevent Rajendra Prasad from becoming president by lying to him. హలో
అన్నా థ్యాంక్స్ అన్నా.
వచ్చింది నాకు కొంచెం ఇంటిమేషన్ ఇవ్వా. నేను ఇంతకుముందు చూసిన మార్నింగ్ వచ్చింది, ఇంతకుముందు చెప్పాక ఇంటిమేషన్ చూసిన.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు చాలా మందికి వస్తుంది, వేరే మార్నింగ్ కూడా వేరే కస్టమర్ కానీ ఫోన్ చేశారు.
మెసేజ్ ఎందుకు రాలే మరి?
మెయిల్ వచ్చిందా? మెయిల్ వచ్చి ఉంటది.
మెయిల్ వచ్చింది.
అదే 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 మెయిల్ కానీ మెసేజ్ కానీ ఫస్ట్ మెయిల్ వచ్చింది, తర్వాత మెసేజ్ వచ్చింది. ఒకసారి 143 ఆర్డర్ వచ్చిందంటే ఇమీడియట్ గా డబ్బులు క్రెడిట్ అయిపోతాయి ఎమ్మటే.
వచ్చినాయి, డబ్బులు వచ్చినాయి.
ఓకే అన్న,
మెయిల్ వచ్చింది, మెసేజ్ ఏం రాలా.
ఓకే అన్న, ఆల్ ది బెస్ట్ అన్న.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
థ్యాంక్స్ అన్న, టేక్ కేర్ అన్న. Yes, sir. Tell me, sir. Okay, nice. What? I don't understand. What is it? Okay, Javed. I'll share. I'll save this number. Yeah, definitely. Sure. Okay. Yeah, not it. I'll go to now in my office. I'll go to dinner. You also share me work. Refer me work, brother. Anything you bring to me, I'll do. Either CA work or lawyer work, both I can do. Okay, brother. Surely, brother. Surely. I'll say. Thank you. Portfolio standard deviation is equal to 9. That is 3% came. So this is the answer. Next question number 4. So first you need to understand the standard deviation is equal to PD square, root of PD square. And covariance of stocks means sum of DA, PDA, PDB. Correlation efficient is equal to covariance AB divided by sigma A, sigma B. Correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient. EFFICIENT. Correlation coefficient is equal to covariance. CARIANC. Covariance A B divided by sigma A, sigma B. And portfolio variance. Portfolio variance is equal to portfolio variance. Portfolio variance is equal to sigma A WA whole square plus sigma B WB whole square plus 2 sigma A WA sigma B WB correlation AB sigma A WA whole square plus sigma B WB whole square plus 2 sigma A WA sigma B WB correlation AB. What is meant by sigma A WA whole square? Sigma A WA whole square is nothing but already standard deviation PD square you find out, right? That one into what is the weightage? 40%. That one whole square plus what is meant by sigma B? Sigma B is equal to nothing but the standard deviation PD square. What you find out? That into weightage of the B. So What is meant by sigma A? Sigma A is nothing but the standard deviation which you find out. What is that standard deviation? Is nothing but PD square, PD square, PD square A, PD square B is nothing but sigma A, sigma B, and weightage and all they given out, out problem. Yes. Now time is 20:43. టీచర్స్ వరకు ఏమైనా వచ్చినాయా? మరి ఇది మన అత్యాసం అవుతుంది. అయినా చూద్దాం తప్పే ఉంది. టీచర్స్ వరకు వచ్చినాయి. టీచర్ Now, friends, I am going to read question number 4. Calculate portfolio return and standard deviation. X Limited invested on 1/4/2009 in certain equity shares as below. Name of the company, number of shares and cost. M Limited 1000 shares at the rate of 100 rupees each. Cost is 2 lakh. N Limited 500 at the rate of 10 rupees each. 1,50,000. In September 2009, 10% dividend was paid out by M Limited, and in October 2009, 30% of the dividend paid out by N Limited. On 31st March 2010, market quotations showed a value of rupees 220 and rupees 290 per share for M Limited and N Limited respectively. On 1/4/2010, investment advisors indicate that the dividend from M Limited and N Limited for the year ending 31st March 2011 are likely to be 20% and 35% respectively, and that the probabilities of the market quotations 31st March 2011 are as below. Probability: price per share of M Limited, price per share of N Limited. You are required to calculate the average return from the portfolio for the year ended 31st March 2010. Calculate the average expected return from the portfolio for the year 2010-11. Calculate comparative risk in the two investments by calculating the standard deviation in each case. So, how to compute? First, the challenge is computing the return. How to compute the return? First, return security M, if I take D1 plus P1 minus P0 divided by P0, that's called 10 plus 220 minus 200 divided by 200 into 100, that is equal to 15 percentage. Return of security N, D1 plus P1 minus P0 divided by P0, that is equal to 3 plus 290 minus 300 divided by 300 into 100, that is equal to minus 2.33 percentage. Portfolio return security MN, return 15 percentage, 2.33 percentage over, then weights already given, right? Product, I got it. Now computation of the risk and return of the security M for 2010 and 11. 0.20, 0.50, 0.30. In September 2009, 10% dividend paid by M Limited. In October 2009, 30% dividend paid out of M Limited. On 31st March 2010, market quotation showed value at 220, 290 per share of the M Limited and Unlimited respectively. Now, 220 minus 220, 250 minus 220, 280 minus 220. These are the three different based on the price expected return. Dividend is what? 20%. Whereas 10% of dividend paid, right? What is this 20? 20, 10%, 30%, 3.5. 3.5. So 1st April 2010, investment advisors indicate that the dividend from M Limited and N Limited for the year ending 31st March 2011 are likely to be rupees, likely to be 20% and 35% respectively, and that the probabilities of the market quotations 31st March 2011 as follows.
The number you're calling is out of network coverage area. Please try later. మీరు కాల్ చేస్తున్న నంబర్ మా నెట్వర్క్ పరిధిలో లేదు. దయచేసి కొంత సమయం తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ప్రయత్నించండి. आपके द्वारा डायल किया गया
ఈరోజు అమ్మని హాస్పిటల్ తీసుకెళ్ళాను. ఆ షుగర్ డాక్టర్ కాడికి చూపించాను. వాడు ఏదో అంత ముందు మీద పర్లేదు, బట్ ఏదో పెరిగింది అన్నాడు. సంథింగ్ ఏదో మెడిసిన్ రాసిచ్చాడు ఒక నెలకి. ఒక 3,000 పెట్టి మెడిసిన్ తీసుకున్నాను. తర్వాత గాయం అంటానికి ఒక ఆయింట్మెంట్ రాసిచ్చాడు. సో అయిపోయింది. ఇంకా ఆమె ఎప్పుడు వెళ్తానంటే అప్పుడు తీసుకెళ్ళి వదిలిపెట్టి వస్తా. అది పూర్తిగా తగ్గిపోయింది. ఆయన కూడా చూసాడు, తగ్గిపోయింది సార్ అని. ఇంకా అదే పేరు జనరల్ ఆయన కాడికి కూడా వెళ్ళా. ఇంకా గాయం ఆయన కాడికి కూడా వెళ్ళా. ఓన్లీ షుగర్ డాక్టర్ కాడ చూపించుకొని ఇంక వచ్చేసాను. కాకపోతే 1 month ఇచ్చాడు మెడిసిన్స్. నేను అక్కడ వాళ్ళకు కూడా అమ్మకు కూడా చెప్పాను, మళ్ళీ నేను కాడికి వెళ్ళబాకండి 1 month దాకా. ఈ రోజు తేదీ అంత 22, వచ్చే నెల 22 దాకా మీరు ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళొద్దు, ఈ మందునే వాడమని చెప్పాను. ఇంకేముంది వాడిద్ది. సరే ఇంకా ఆమె ఎప్పుడు వెళ్తానంటే అప్పుడు తీసుకెళ్ళి వదిలిపెట్టి వస్తా. ఖాళీ కాసిన చెప్పులు కొనిచ్చి ఏదో ఒక చీర జాకెట్ కొనిచ్చి పంపించి తీసుకెళ్ళి వదిలిపెట్టి వస్తా. చెప్తున్నాను నీకు వరకు. ఓకేనా? సరే ఉంటా అన్న మరి అయితే. అమ్మా చేతుంది. అరే బాబాడా, ఆపరేషన్ సింధూరకు రాముడే స్ఫూర్తి. సరే 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 సరే. sigma a double a whole square plus sigma b double b whole square plus 2 of sigma a double a and sigma b double b, correlation of sigma a double a, say correlation of sigma ab, correlation coefficient formula is equal to covariance covariance ab divided by sigma a sigma b. Correlation coefficient is equal to covariance AB divided by sigma A sigma B. Portfolio variance is equal to sigma A double A whole square plus sigma B double B whole square plus 2 sigma A double A sigma B double B correlation AB. Correlation AB is equal to covariance correlation coefficient is equal to correlation coefficient is equal to covariance AB divided by sigma A sigma B. Correlation coefficient is equal correlation coefficient is equal to covariance AB divided by sigma A sigma B. Portfolio variance is equal sigma A double A square d plus sigma B double B whole square plus 2 sigma A double A sigma B double B and correlation AB. Here, my friend, what you need to understand, what is sigma A? Sigma A is nothing but the standard deviation that's called PD square. What is meant by sigma B? Sigma B is nothing but standard deviation of the PDB is PDA square, PDB square. So the moment you find out the PDA square is nothing but sigma A. The moment you find out the PDB square, nothing but sigma B. So that's called two stocks, right? The PD square what you find out, that is a stock A. The PD square B what you find, stock B. Stock A, stock B you find out, right? Now, you know that already weightage. You know that the weightage. First, the portfolio return is called individual product of the security A into weightage, individual product of security B into weightage. That is called portfolio return. What is that? That is a portfolio return. Whereas portfolio variance, if you want to find out, then PD square. PD square is what? The PD square is nothing but probability, return, product, probability, return, product. And from the product, you find out the deviation. Now the deviation square into the probability. That is called PD square here, right? Same likewise, you need to compute the PD square B. PD square for A stock, PD square for B stock. Same way. What? Probability, column number 1, column number 2 written, Column number 3, product. Product is nothing but the probability into the return. Now the sum of the product, each return minus sum of the product is called the deviation. Now PD square is nothing but the deviation square multiply with the product, multiply with the probability. Then you will get PDA, PDB. How will you get the PD square? You have the answer. The standard deviation is equal root sigma A, right? Root sigma square, right? Root sigma square. Now the standard deviation A is equal root of PD square. Standard deviation of B is equal root of PD square for stock B. Now you got stock A, stock B, standard deviation. The moment you find out standard deviation for stock A, stock B, now you need to compute the covariance of the stock. How to compute covariance of the stocks? Covariance of the stocks is nothing but covariance divided by sigma A, sigma B. Sigma A, sigma is nothing but standard deviation of A into standard deviation of B. So covariance is equal sum of PDA, PDB. What is sum of PDA, PDB? It's equal to 9 only, right? 3 into 3 is equal to 9. Now, that 9 divided by sigma A, sigma B, that's called standard deviation A, standard deviation B. Then, your covariance, correlation coefficient become the 1. Correlation coefficient become 1. Correlation coefficient is equal to become 1. Okay, now thereafter you need to find portfolio variance. While calculating the portfolio variance, the formula is nothing but A plus B whole square formula. A square plus B square plus 2AB, 2BC, 2C, right? In the that formula. Here this formula, A square plus B square plus 2AB, 2AB into correlation. A square plus B square plus 2AB. That's called formula, right? A plus B whole square formula is what? A square plus B square plus 2AB. Same way, A square here, standard deviation of the product A into the weightage of that stock. Whereas B square here, standard deviation of the stock B into weighted average of the stock B and 2AB. So A means what? Again, A is nothing but standard deviation of stock A into the weight of the stock A. That's called A. Here, what is meant by B? The B is nothing but standard deviation of the stock B into weightage of the stock B. 2A. Then you will get into clarity of the portfolio variance. That's called portfolio standard deviation is equal to 9. The portfolio standard deviation is equal to root of the variance. Variance we need to be identified by sigma, right? Sigma indicate for variance, right? Now, friends, we are moving to another question. The question number is 4. In this question, what we are going to elaborate it, talk about the question. The question is telling they are not given written directly. The challenge is you need to compute the written perfectly. You need to compute the written is perfectly arithmetical without any errors. What they given in question? They given question in number of shares. They given each in question number of shares into stock price and cost of the stock they given. And thereafter, they clearly mentioned over that 10% of the dividend was paid in the M Limited in October 2009, whereas 30% dividend paid out by the N Limited on 31st March 2010. The market quotation showed the value of 220 as a stock of M Limited, whereas if you see stock of B is showing 290 as a market price. At this juncture, now I'm coming back to the subject matter of discussion of this question. The 1st April 2010, the investment advisor indicate that the dividend from the M Limited and N Limited for the year ending is going to be 20%, 35% respectively. And the probabilities of the market quotations by 31st March 2011 is as follows. The probability is 0.20, 0.50, 0.30, whereas share price of indications by M Limited is 220, 250, 280, whereas N Limited 290, 310, 330. Now, being a student or being a advisor, you need to be compute, calculate the average return from the portfolio for the year ending of 31st March 2010 and calculate average expected return from the portfolio for the year ending 2010-11 and calculate comparative risk in two investments by calculating the standard deviation in each case. Now answer. Working note number 1. Computation of return of portfolio for 2019. Now, what we need to do, we need to analyze the information. What the information is helpful to compute the return of the products, return of the stocks. Yes, they are given dividend, they are given P1 and P0. The stock of the beginning, stock of the end they given, dividend they given. Then you can compute the return, right? The return of security M is equal to the D1, that's called dividend of the year ending, plus stock value of the ending minus stock value of the beginning divided by stock value of the beginning. Then you will find out holding period of return. So the moment you computed holding period of the return and you know the weights, then you got the product. But whereas here a different probability is given. Now, based on the computation of the risk and return of the security for M 2010-11, we have probabilities for security M. Whereas prices also different, right? Based on that, you need to compute revised prices. For the price at the probability 0.20, your price is 220. At the probability price of probability 50 percentage, then your price is 250. At the probability rate goes to 30 percentage, your price is 280. And whereas 2 P0 was given, what is that? 220. Now you need to compute at different probabilities at a different return for security A. That's called stock A. Likewise manner, you need to compute for stock B also. The moment you computed stock A, now you need to calculate risk and return calculation. Return, yes. What return? This return indicates each probability price, each probability, at each probability, the price showing different price minus of the beginning price and the dividend. The dividend is same, right? The dividend is same. Is going to be expected dividend is same. But at different probability, different prices is given. In such a case, you need to compute return at three different probability levels. At three different probability levels, at three different probability levels, you need to compute three different returns. In those returns, you know the probability. Now you need to compute as a product, and then again you need to compute as a deviation, and then you need to compute as a PD square. Then my expected return is nothing but product, sum of the product, right? That. And my standard deviation is nothing but root of PD square. Am I right? That's called variance square. Now standard deviation is equal to, in rupees, the stock price into my standard deviation percentage, which was I calculated now. This is the way we need to compute for stock A. What kind of problem is this? This problem is showing different probability, different prices, and different prices I need to compute different returns. And those will be multiplied by the probability. Then I will get a product. That product is my expected product return. And thereafter deviation. And then deviation square into probability is equal to PD square. That is a stock A. Whereas you go for stock B, the same manner. For security stock N, what kind of different probability? At those different probability, the dividend is the same. They said 35%, that is called 3.5. They said, yes, 3.5, 35 means. And you need to arrive at different prices and bring it to them, and you got different prices at a different probability. Based on that, you computed as a different return and into probability. Then you got again product. Again, you find a deviation. The deviation nothing but the sum of the product Written minus sum of the product is called deviation. Now again, deviation square into probability is called PD square P for the stock B. Now expected return is nothing but the product of the sum of the product of the stock B. Now standard deviation. Now portfolio return is equal to return weight product. Return weight product. You have a return for stock A, you got standard deviation is 21, whereas a product 24.10 is the sum of the product. Whereas product N, sum of the product is 8.79. Now into weights, then product will come. That's called portfolio variance. Portfolio return 18.02. How came? 65,766 divided by 3,65,000, it equals 18.0. Yes, this is right. Dear friends, now time is 9:21. Tomorrow morning, tomorrow morning, early morning, we are going to take up classes regarding auditing and financial reporting standards. Theoretically, we are going to deal. Whoever watched my YouTube, I am thanks to everyone from top to bottom. Thank you each and everyone who are contributing to my success. This is a passion of my journey to teach something which I know that. This is basically people's advocate, 𝒟𝒻 Malala, who is objective mission is to help the marginalized people and uplift of their lives. So I'm grateful to everyone who are watching this YouTube, my channel. I'm grateful to you all. And going forward, I'll bring whatever I know, the subject matter of tax litigation. And basically, I'm planned for the subject matter of only 3 subjects is my core, which I am going to deal in future. One is accounting standard in the AS. That is my core subject. I don't leave. Every day I'll teach something. Thereafter, direct tax laws. That was my life of the subject. And indirect tax laws. My breath is direct tax, indirect tax. For that backbone is in the AS. So these 3 subjects is my core. Every day I'll bring something to before you as a being subject matter of updation. So please accept my gratitude to you who are watching my YouTube channel. Thanks to one. It is just for motivation for me to do more videos on subject matter. Of course, whether they watch or not, irrespectively, I'll do videos because it's my life. I can't live without breathing. I can't live without walking. The walking is backbone is required. Breathing is air is required. Being a tax litigation advocate, the backbone is India is the breath is direct tax, indirect tax. Keep updating. Thanks one and all who are listening and watching my channel. We'll work together, build together, we'll enhance our skill and knowledge, we'll lead our life and you and your families. Thank you, Randall. Bye bye. See you, Tata. We'll see by tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. sharply by People's Advocate Sriman Narana Malela in present subject matter of discussion. Thank you, Randall.